of the beholder, but you would have to be a bit of a fan to believe the BMW 1 Series Sports hatch is a good-looking hatchback. In fact, its long bonnet and rounded rear end make it look as though it had been prodded a little with the ugly stick, but at its reward-biased stance is a visual clue to the range being predominantly rear-wheel drive, an unusual choice in this class. This puts a clear emphasis on driving fun over outright practicality, giving it a distinct advantage over its core dramatic rivals, the Audi A3, Mercedes-Benz E-Class and higher-spec versions of the Volkswagen Golf, let alone more individualistic choices such as the Lexus Court, Infiniti Q30 and Volvo V40. Unlike the first-generation 1 Series range that also featured coupe and convertible alternatives, those have been separated out into the BMW 2 Series range for the second iterations. Comprehensive engine lineup. There's the ever-impressive line of efficient and clean turbocharged engines for the 1 Series that inevitably appear across the BMW and Mini ranges. You'll have to ignore the boot badges as if they match the capacity of the engine. It's more by accident than design. The excellent mid-range 120i and 120d have 2.0-liter motors, but then so do the 118d, 125i and 125d. At the lower end of the range, 3-cylinder 1.5-liter motors can be found in the 116d and 118i models, while the high-performance M140i, there's no M1 sister car to the M2 Coupe, utilizes a 6-cylinder 3.0-liter unit, capable of sprinting from a standstill to 62 miles per hour in 4.6 seconds. Unlike other ranges in the BMW lineup, there are now plug-in hybrid versions of the 1 Series Sports hatch, making the 116d efficient dynamics the most efficient, with claims of up to 83.1 miles per gallon and CO2 emissions of 89 gkm. Choose the 120d and you can also specify X-Drive all-wheel drive. There's a small efficiency penalty due to the extra weight of the system, but that extra traction makes it marginally quicker than the rear-wheel drive alternative. High BMW 1 Series equipment levels. Long gone are the days when German-made premium-priced cars were well-engineered and poorly equipped. While the engineering legacy remains, there's a wealth of standard kit on the 1 Series, even if you plumb for the entry-level, say. Even here, alloy wheels, climate control, keyless start and automatic wipers are a part of the package. Most people tend to upgrade to Sport and M Sport, though, with M140i appearing as a standalone spec at the range's pinnacle. The trim offering was further bolstered in summer 2017 with the arrival of the M Sport Shadow Edition, featuring darkened exterior elements to make it look a tad racier. There's a wealth of extras to choose from, many of which carry hefty price tags, so if you fancy a Harman Kardon speaker upgrade or a professional navigation system, expect to pay for the privilege. BMW 1 Series facelift in 2015, making the styling less divisive. In 2015, the BMW 1 Series Sports hatch received a mild midlife facelift, with particularly emphasis on making the nose and tail look more like other models in the range. The original triangular headlamps gave way to more horizontal units closer to the look of the 2 Series Coupe and convertible, while the taillights switched from being vertically orientated to being wider lenses bisected by the tailgate opening. Interior tweaks were more restrained, with detailed changes to the dashboard and a range of new seat fabrics. The verdict: in a segment where practicality and family-friendly flexibility tend to dominate buyers' choices, the BMW 1 Series Sports hatch is a much more individual proposition. It's a driver's car with a degree of functionality built in, so consider your priorities carefully before ordering one. Read the full review to find out all you need to know about the BMW 1 Series Sports hatch. Smallest engines are shared with Mini. Whole range is turbocharged for efficiency. Range topping M140i is a fun hot hatch. There's a turbocharged engine to suit most needs within the BMW 1 Series Sports hatch range, from diesels that eke out every tankful to high-performance versions to say those of an enthusiastic bent. BMW 1 Series diesels. Popular and strong entry point to the diesel 1 Series lineup is the 116d, powered by a 3-cylinder 1.5-liter turbocharged unit as seen in various Minis. In this installation there's 116 horsepower and 270 Nm of torque from 1,750 revolutions per minute, resulting in a top speed of 124 miles per hour and a 10.3-second 062 miles per hour time, regardless of whether you go for the 6-speed manual or the optional 8-speed automatic. There's a frugal focus with the 116D and dynamics that features the same engine, but that economy drive sees its figure slip to 121 miles per hour and 10.4 seconds, respectively. The remaining diesels all use the same basic 4-cylinder 2.0-liter unit in various states of tune. Producing 150 horsepower and 330 Nm of torque from 1,750 revolutions per minute is the 118D, also available in manual and automatic forms. Both post a 132 miles per hour top speed, but the auto's a little quicker 062 miles per hour with an 8.1 second time versus the manual's 8.3. BMW 120D power and performance outputs are ramped up to 190 horsepower and 400 Nm of torque for the 120D, again with a choice of transmissions. Both can reach 142 miles per hour. But once more the auto's the quicker accelerator, 7.0 seconds for the 062 miles per hour compared with the manual's 7.1 second time. The self-shifter is the best all-rounder in the range, providing you cover enough miles to justify the diesel choice. All-wheel drive is standard on the 120D xDrive that shares the same 190 horsepower engine. The extra weight of the system pegs the top speed at 138 miles per hour, but the additional traction shaves the 062 miles per hour sprint down to 6.8 seconds. Here the 8-speed automatic is the sole transmission. BMW 125D, even more performance automatic's the only choice for the 125D2, where the headline statistics are 224 horsepower and 450 Nm of torque. These numbers see the top speed cranked up to 149 miles per hour and just 6.3 seconds required for the 062 miles per hour dash. Performance-shifting turbo pit rolls. There's another 3-cylinder 1.5-liter engine shared with the mini hatch and BMW i8 and the 118i, a model that's remarkably brisk considering it only conjures up 136 horsepower and 220 Nm of torque at 1,250 revolutions per minute. The 6-speed manual and 8-speed automatic gearbox choices are present, each with a 130 miles per hour top speed and not too shabby 062 miles per hour times of 8.5 and 8.7 seconds, respectively. It's a 4-cylinder 2.0-liter motor under the 120i's bonnet, again with a choice of transmissions acting as conduits to transmit 184 horsepower and 290 Nm of torque at 1,350 revolutions per minute to the rear wheels. Both post 7.1 second 062 miles per hour times, but at 143 miles per hour the manual has a 3 miles per hour higher top speed than the auto. Like its diesel namesake, the 125i is automatic only and is propelled by 224 horsepower version of the 2.0-liter petrol, producing a marginally improved 310 Nm of torque. It'll reach 151 miles per hour and requires 6.1 seconds for the 062 miles per hour benchmark. BMW 140i, flagship performance breathed over by BMW's division, but not a fully blown M1 sister to the M2 Coupe. The M140i has a 6-cylinder 3.0-liter engine shoehorned under its bonnet that boasts of 340 horsepower and 500 Nm of torque at 1,520 revolutions per minute. Both transmission types feature again, but while the pair share the somewhat academic 155 miles per hour electronically governed top speed, the automatic's 4.6-second 062 miles per hour time trumps the manual's 4.8-second quote. Balanced handling thanks to rear-wheel drive comfort hasn't been sacrificed for agility xDrive available, but do you need it? It's the only rear-wheel drive car in the compact family hatchback segments, and the BMW 1 Series sports hatch is all the more enjoyable to drive because of it. Thanks to the inline engine layout and rear-wheel drive powertrain, the 1 Series has an equal weight distribution front to rear, which gives it intrinsic balance, rather than tail-uppy waywardness. BMW's engineers have made this second-generation 1 Series 51 mm wider at the front and 71 mm at the rear compared with its predecessor, while the suspension has been enhanced to deliver increased levels of both agility and comfort. Well-balanced and fun handling. It's well-balanced, corners brilliantly and has good body control thanks to its sports suspension. You'll experience very little lean when cornering here. The variable sports steering is excellent too, well weighted with good feedback. Even in the wet there is a lot of grip from the tires, but traction can be improved further on the 120D with its xDrive all-wheel drive system. Think carefully before you buy one though. A rear-wheel drive 120D with winter tires could well suffice. Impeccably clear instruments and buttons, well assembled but not exactly luxurious. Idrive multimedia system is standard setter when it comes to providing one of the best driving positions in this corner of the market. The BMW 1 Series sports hatch has the competition licked. There's an excellent range of adjustment for both the steering wheel and the seat, which can be set sportily low. But be conscious that it's not the roomiest of cabins, and the rear seat dweller immediately after the driver is likely to be less enthralled. One particular highlight of the cabin is the Idrive system, a rotary dial surrounded by buttons to navigate the multimedia system. Many rivals have launched similar systems since BMW debuted its original back in 2002, but with frequent honing it remains the most intuitive. Although it's well made, it conspires to not feel as special as the cabin of the Audi A3 or even the Volkswagen Golf, feeling more functional than blessed with flair. But, importantly, everything is logically located and the switchgear feels like it will stand the test of time. There's a paucity of interior space, bag a front seat, they're far comfier. Adaptive suspension is an extra cost option. Although this generation of 1 Series sports hatch is comfier than its predecessor, BMW still has work to do in this regard to get even with its competition, let alone surge ahead. Its biggest problem is how compact the cabin is, with little rear legroom and a high transmission tunnel where the center rear passenger would ideally locate their feet. 4 adults would be a squeeze in a 1 Series, never mind 5. Things are much better if you are fortunate enough to inhabit one of the front berths, with plenty of adjustment whether the seats are manually or electrically adjustable. There's plenty of side support too, which helps keep you hemmed in when driving more enthusiastically. One point of note is that taller drivers might find it trickier getting in and out of 5-door versions, as the seat's likely to be set significantly rearward compared with the door pillar. Most 1 Series buyers go for the M Sport trim, which means an appreciably firmer ride. There are 2 ways to negate this. Opt for the moderately expensive but excellent adaptive M Sport suspension system, or, for free, go for the standard springs. Road drawer, as well as wind and tire noise, are acceptable, and not overly intrusive, making the 1 Series a pleasant place to be. 5 trims levels across the 1 Series range. Generous kit counts on each of them. Beware expensive options. Standard levels of kit for the 1 Series are pleasing, with their range available in 5 familiar grades. Say, Sport, M Sport Shadow Edition, and the standalone M140i. Standard BMW 1 Series sports hatch equipment as standard. The Say 1 Series comes with sedan with a 6.5-inch multimedia display and iDrive controller, DAB radio, remote control, central locking, keyless ignition, climate control, multifunction leather steering wheel, automatic lights and wipers, 16-inch alloy wheels, front fog lights. Move up to sport trim and you get 17-inch alloy wheels, ambient lighting, black high-gloss interior trim, sports front seats. Body kit. The popular M Sport models come as standard with 18-inch M Sport alloy wheels, aluminum hexagon interior trim, Alcantara upholstery, and specific body kit. New for 2017 is the M Sport Shadow Edition, which adds darkened headlamps and taillight unis, a black grille and alloy wheels, cruise control, rear parking sensors. Topping the range is the standalone M140i that builds upon M Sport with Dual-zone climate-control Dakota leather upholstery, specific 18-inch alloys with high-grip tires, ferret gray exterior detailing, specific M140i suspension and steering settings. BMW 1 Series Sports Hatch optional extras. Buyers can pick from a range of exterior colors, including conventional metallic and non-metallic finishes, while a selection of alloy wheels are available to further customize your car. Inside, as you'd expect, there are a variety of seat and trim choices on offer. If you're looking to further increase the BMW 1 Series equipment, then a multitude of option packages are available. BMW's Driver's Comfort Pack adds accessories like cruise control and rear parking sensors, making the car easier to live with. Also on offer is a visibility package, which adds adaptive LED headlights alongside other minor upgrades. The selection of driver assistance systems available for the new BMW 1 Series includes a rear view camera, high beam assistant and the driving assistant. The latter comprises the camera-based lane departure warning and collision warning systems as well as the attention assistant feature. Other options include electrically adjustable and heated front seats, two-zone automatic aircon, a heated steering wheel, a 40 hours 20 minutes 40 seconds split rear seat backrest and the Harman Kardon loudspeaker upgrade including a 360-watt digital amplifier. 5-star Euro NCAP rating in 2012. Generous levels of safety kit as standard. Even wider range of optional features, though like many premium manufacturers, BMW boasts an enviable safety record, as evidenced by the 1 Series Sports Hatch's 5-star rating when it was crash-tested by Euro NCAP back in 2012. Not only is it particularly strong, it's packed with safe attire-related kit including stability software, dynamic traction control with brake control allowing individual wheels to be slowed to maximize traction as well as safety, automatic lights and wipers, LED rear lights and fog lamps. M Sport and M140i models also boast standard LED headlights. BMW 1 Series Sports Hatch optional safety equipment. You can't be too safe, of course, so there's a wide range of extra cost options and bundles to consider, including adaptive cruise control, a self-parking system, adaptive LED headlights that turn the beam pattern with your steering input and a driving assistant pack. This comprises of an attentiveness assistant, low-speed autonomous emergency braking, lane departure warning and preventative pedestrian protection. Roomy up front, but cramped in the rear small boot, even with seats folded. Lots of stowage space in the cabin. Practicality was not a strong point of the first-generation 1 Series Sports Hatch, but this version of the BMW is a little better. In the rear it's still very tight and although there are 5 seat belts, you'll struggle to fit that many adults in comfortably. Even 4 might struggle. Plus, as with any car of that configuration, access to the rear seats of the 3-door is a hassle many will choose not to have. There are plenty of cubby holes dotted around the front of the cabin to keep spare change and other bits and pieces in place, but none of the easy access ones are especially deep. Time to hide your cabin detritus away. It's a compact 3- and 5-door range of hatchbacks, despite that long bonnet giving a different impression from the driver's seat, so you'll have little bother slotting it into a conventionally sized garage or a parking space in an archetypal multi-story. Although backseat passenger space is compromised by the BMW's rear-wheel drive arrangement, the boot capacity hasn't been impinged to the same degree. With all seats in place there's 360 liters of volume in the boot, about 20 liters shy of what a Golf can muster. Tumble the 60 hours 40 minutes split rear seats over, a convenient 40 hours 20 minutes 40 seconds split is optionally available, and that increases to a more useful 1,200 liters. Although it's unlikely you'll want to use your BMW like a makeshift small van.